terminologies associated with foreign exchange in preparation for our discussion on foreign exchange risk that is to follow. A foreign exchange transaction is an agreement between two parties where one party agrees to pay a fixed amount of one currency in exchange for another currency at a pre-agreed rate. The price of one currency in terms of the other currency is called the exchange rate. Currencies are traded, that is, bought and sold in foreign exchange markets across the globe. Virtually all currencies in the world are traded in some foreign exchange market or the other. But the most common currencies traded are US dollars, pound sterling, euro, and the Japanese yen. Participants in the foreign exchange markets around the world comprise individuals and firms, banks and non-banks, speculators and arbitrageurs, foreign exchange brokers, and last but not the least, the central banks around the world. Each of those categories of participants in the foreign exchange market go to the market for entirely different reasons and motivations. For instance, individuals and firms do so to meet their foreign currency requirements, central banks to ensure a stable foreign exchange rate, and so on. Trading and settlement. There are two distinct activities associated with any foreign exchange transaction: trading and settlement. In the trading activity, the two counterparties to the foreign exchange transaction agree on the quantum of one currency to be bought in exchange for another, the price or the exchange rate, and the date on which the cash will be delivered. The date on which the trade is executed is referred to as the trade date, and the date on which the trade is settled, that means the currency amounts are debited and credited to the designated bank accounts of the two counterparties, is referred to as the settlement date. Therefore, every foreign exchange transaction will have two dates: a trade date and a settlement date. Type of foreign exchange transactions. Foreign exchange transactions are classified based on the difference between the trade date and the settlement date. The trade date is usually referenced as T. Cash transactions, T plus 0, where the trade date and the settlement date are exactly the same. Typical example would be a foreign currency transaction that you undertake at the money changer in the airport. TOM transactions, T plus 1. Settlement will be on the next working day from the trade date. Globally, such transactions are very few in number. Spot transactions, T plus 2, where the settlement date will be 2 working days from the trade date. Historically, and even to this day, a vast majority of foreign exchange transactions worldwide are spot transactions. Forward transactions, T plus N, where N could be any number of days greater than 2 days. For example, a 90-day forward contract, T plus 90, entered into today would imply that funds would be settled between the counterparties 90 working days from today. Swap transactions comprise two foreign exchange transactions entered into simultaneously with the same trade date and two different settlement dates. For example, a dealer in foreign exchange today enters into a spot transaction with the counterparty to sell 100,000 US dollars in exchange for Japanese yen at an agreed exchange rate, and simultaneously enters into a 60-day forward contract to buy back the 100,000 US dollars in return for Japanese yen. That is an example of a spot forward swap transaction. A forward swap transaction, on the other hand, would involve two forward transactions, say one a 30-day forward contract and another equal and opposite 90-day forward contract. Now let's look at how foreign exchange rates are quoted. Each currency has a unique code allocated to it by the International Standards Organization. For example, US dollar is denoted by USD, pound sterling is denoted by GBP, Japanese yen denoted by JPY, etc. Exchange rates are quoted in all markets in currency pairs. For example, if the price of $1 is 100 Japanese yen, the quotation will be USD / JPY space 100. This nomenclature is to be interpreted as the price of 1 unit of the base currency. On the left side of the slash, in our case, the US dollar, equal to 100 units of the price currency on the right side of the slash, in our case, the Japanese yen. A direct quote in foreign exchange markets parlance is the price of 1 unit of foreign currency in domestic currency units, and an indirect quote is the price of 1 unit of domestic currency in the foreign currency units. Therefore, in the Tokyo market, USD / JPY 100 is a direct quote, and JPY / USD 0.01 or 1 upon 100 is an indirect quote, since JPY is the domestic currency in the Tokyo market. In the New York market, it would be the exact converse. Bid and ask rates. Although in our discussion so far we have looked at exchange rate quotations as a single value, almost always it is a set of two values, normally referred to as a two-way quote. Let's look at an example to understand this better. If a foreign exchange dealer in London quotes euro to US dollar 1.2710/80, it is expanded as 1.2710/1.2780 and is interpreted as the dealer is willing to buy euros and sell US dollars at $1.2710 per euro, also referred to as the bid rate. The dealer is also willing to sell euros and buy US dollars at $1.2780 per euro, which is referred to as the ask rate. Based on the above, his bid-ask spread is 1.2780 minus 1.2710, which is 0.0070 US dollars per euro. That was a quick recap of the concepts and terminology used in the foreign exchange markets. In the next session, we will look at foreign exchange risk, how to identify, manage, and mitigate such risks.